Welcome to The Explainer. So today we're jumping into something that's, well, it's absolutely essential for any parent or teacher right now. We're talking about how to teach our kids to be detectives in a world filled with these super sophisticated AI-driven scams.
Okay, let's kick things off with this quote from a student. It really hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? That's a trap so many of us can fall into, not just kids. The thing is, in this world of deep fakes and AI everything, our own eyes and ears can fool us. That gut feeling we used to rely on, yeah, it's just not enough anymore.
You know, the whole nature of scams has just fundamentally changed. The days of looking for obvious red flags, like bad grammar or a weird email address, those are pretty much over. We've walked right into a new era of incredibly convincing fakes, all powered by AI that can mimic voices, faces, and writing styles almost perfectly.
And wow, the difference is just night and day. Remember when we just had to look for bad spelling? Gone. Now AI has handed scammers this whole new high-tech toolkit. Seriously, just think about it for a second. A perfect voice clone of your child's friend asking for money. Or a deepfake video of their teacher announcing a fake school closure. This isn't your grandma's spam email. These are personalized, super polished, and honestly, dangerously realistic.
So, here's the crucial point. We can't just tell kids, hey, don't get scammed. I mean, that's just a passive defense. What we really need to do is empower them, give them a whole new kind of proactive skill, a new mindset for getting around in this digital world. And our big goal here is to help them develop this skill called thinking with AI. Now, this doesn't mean they need to become coding geniuses, not at all. It just means learning to treat AI like a partner, a really powerful but sometimes flawed partner. It's a tool you use and you question, not some all-knowing oracle you just blindly trust.
And when you think of it that way, it totally transforms the mission, right? We're not just creating cautious kids. We're training a whole new generation of savvy AI detectives who are ready to go out and solve these digital mysteries.
Okay, so let's get practical. Let's dive into the actual tools we can put in our young detectives' toolkits. These are real strategies that you can use, whether you're in a classroom or just sitting in your living room.
First things first, we have to get the mindset right. A lot of kids, and let's be honest, adults too, see AI as this perfect, all-knowing encyclopedia. But that's not the right way to look at it. You know what it's really like? It's like that super smart, super fast classmate who sometimes doesn't check their work. It can give you an answer with total confidence, but it could be completely wrong. It's helpful, for sure, but you can't just take its word for it.
So, we can actually turn this into a bit of a game, just by asking this one simple question. The moment an AI answer seems a little too perfect, a little too polished, well, that's exactly when a good detective should start getting curious.
And we can frame this as a really fun mission. Make it a game. Find AI's mistake. See who can be the first to spot the flaw. You're challenging them to find an error, or maybe a point that's kind of vague, or a big jump in logic. Suddenly, being skeptical isn't a chore, it's a superpower.
This right here is a huge upgrade to the old stop and think rule. It's a really powerful three-step method. It gives kids a clear, simple checklist for any weird message they might get, whether it's a text, an email, or even a video.
And this leads us to the most important safety net of all. When you're dealing with a fake voice or video, those first two questions might not be enough. So the final crucial step is always human verification. If a text from a friend feels a bit off and they're asking for money, what's the one move to make? Call them on their real number. Confirm it's them. Don't trust the data, trust the actual person.
Now, of course, these skills aren't learned in a vacuum. If we really want to build a generation of AI detectives, it's got to be a team effort. It takes a real partnership between what's happening in the classroom and what's happening at home.
For teachers, it's all about creating this human-machine co-learning vibe. AI isn't there to just spit out the final answers. It's a tool, kind of like a talking whiteboard marker, that throws out ideas. The real learning kicks in when students start checking the AI's work and, this is the most important part, explaining their own thinking.
And at home, parents can run their own drills too and make it fun. The True-False Message Challenge is a great way to turn the family into a critical thinking training ground. It makes spotting fakes a regular, low-stakes game, and that builds the muscle memory they'll need for the real world.
So how do we make sure these skills actually stick and don't just, go in one year and out the other? Well, we can turn it into a habit with this really simple cycle. Plan, do, check, and act. Think of it this way. You find a new fake out there, you talk about how you'd spot it, you figure out what worked best, and then you add that new trick to your playbook. It turns a single lesson into this living, breathing detective guide that kids feel like they actually owned.
Okay, let's wrap this up by looking at the bigger picture here, because this is all building towards something much bigger and way more optimistic than just avoiding scams. At the end of the day, we're not trying to hand them a giant rulebook to memorize. Come on, rules get outdated so fast. What we're really doing is equipping them with a mental tool, like magnifying glass, that they can use to investigate any new technology or information that come across. It's all about empowering them to walk into the future with confidence. This quote just says it all, perfectly. It's about that crucial shift in mindset. It's about moving from being a potential victim of technology to becoming an empowered user, someone who can use AI for all its amazing strengths while still being able to see and sidestep its flaws. It's about judgment, not about fear.
And that leaves us with this one fundamental question that really frames our responsibility here as parents and as educators. Are we preparing kids to be afraid of technology, or are we preparing them to master it? Because our goal shouldn't be to build up these walls of fear. It should be to give them the tools, the confidence, and the critical thinking skills to become its master.